Most of you know he's been around for years, Mr. Gary Larson. And on the far right is our bass player, Will Savitsky. And down the middle, right in the middle, I got to tell you a little story about this fella. He probably even forgot about this. Donny, how old were you 30 years ago? Very old, right? 14, maybe 15?
I wasn't born yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm teasing, Wally, I'm teasing. I was actually 15 years old at that time.
Okay. When Donny was 15 years old, I was belonging to Lions Club, downtown Lions. I used to put on country western shows. The first show I did was called Country Western Teen Show. And who have I got? This young fellow over here. And I would say probably, very likely, that was his first time ever to play in public. Because he was absolutely scared. I mean, the guy was shaking his boots. I'll tell you, he played Faded Love, and I got that on a little cassette because Murray Middlebrook was part of the group at that time. Yep. Donny probably doesn't believe that I got him on tape. I put on 5 shows that year, and I think you were about 3-4 years with us.
Yes.
And so that's how long I've known this young gentleman, and he's come a long way.
And I'll add to this, Wally. It was the very first time from your show. It was the very first time I was ever in the Daily Herald newspaper. And they had a big picture of me in the Daily Herald newspaper. And when I do my talks all over Saskatchewan, this is what I talk about and I inspire the kids. I was 15 years old at that time in that photo. And I had a dream of playing on the Grand Ole Opry. Everybody thought I was crazy. From the West Flat, we didn't have a lot of money. How are you going to get to the Grand Ole Opry? Well, guess what? 10 years later, I proved everybody wrong and did it. So this is one of the inspirations that I do. So I owe thanks to Wally. And I'll tell you this. Will Savitsky and I talk about this lots. Gary Larson and I talk about this every now and then. And I make a promise here tonight. I'm going to tell you right now. From the age of 16 and under, we are going to start once a year a talent show. It's not a contest, it's a show where you can come and watch kids 16 years old and under come and perform, because right now I feel bad for the younger generation because there's nowhere for them to play. Does everybody agree with that? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring back the show to Prince Albert like Wally did, because if it wasn't for that, I never would be where I am today, because that's where I got my start. And from these guys up here. So I owe lots to Wally. Thank you.
And it's a great pleasure to have somebody like Donny Parenteau come up and do the Red River Jig tonight for us. And we have a couple people over here at the front. We have Tina Vermette, one of the judges. We have Audrey McGinnis, and the little fella, Mr. Brian Campbell. Those are your judges for tonight. I know Brian, he's going to keep things in pretty strict order. He usually does, and that's why he's here. He phoned me and asked me who the judges were. I said, well, we have to find out who the lady is that was in charge of the judges, and that was Audrey at the time, so she picked the right people anyway. Also, we have, in this crowd, we have Mr. and Mrs. Festival. We'll have them up here a little later in the evening, maybe halftime show. And we have a special show for you at halftime. I hope they're here. Nobody spoke to me yet, but we're going to have something very special. First time ever in the jigging competition, we're going to have a group that Brian says they're square dancers. I thought they were cloggers. Don't matter, they're dancers. They're called Blue Thunder. They won the provincial championship last year. They're going to be here tonight. It took me about a month to find them, and I hope they're going to be here. If Angel Prosper, if she's here, please come and talk to me somewhere down the road if you're here. Okay? So that's all I have to say right now. I'm glad to